moist, crunchy, delicious. Let's go. Hi guys, what are we having today? Low carb, keto, fried chicken in the air fryer. Super easy. How I start this recipe is I make a homemade buttermilk. And how do you make homemade buttermilk? 2 ingredients. You use real whipping cream and a little bit of lemon juice. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to coat my chicken with those 2 things. Then I'm going to mix them up, and I'm going to add some seasoning to the actual buttermilk. So I'm going to put in some black pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder, and some sea salt. You want a spicier one, you can add it there. We're going to add lots of seasoning because you know I love seasoning, so we're going to add it twice. We're going to add it to the pork rinds, which we're going to do in a second, and we're going to add it to the buttermilk batter. Okay, we've got that coated good. We're going to set it aside and start with the pork rinds. Now, I bought, like I said, that $5 thing that you can see the food chopper thing sitting behind me. But I'm so used to chopping these up with my hands that I'm just crushing them up with my hands that I always do. And I just kind of eyeball it and crush them up. I'm so used to doing this with my hands, but I just bought this for $5 at Target when I was back in Missouri. Next time I'll use that for the crust. Maybe next time. Now that we've got it crunched all up, now we're going to add our seasoning. So we're going to do the same repeat again, depending on how you want your chicken to taste. But I'm just doing the same thing I always do. I'm doing black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, sea salt, and then the most important, or paprika, and then the most important thing is you've got to get out the cornstarch. We've got to put cornstarch in there so it'll stick really good to our chicken and make it that crunchy taste that we want. I take my silicone pan here, I spray it with my chosen avocado oil, and then literally I just start taking these out one by one. I do them with my hands, throw them in the batter, coat them on both sides, and then throw them in the pan and get ready to air fry. Super simple. While I'm doing this step, I am preheating my air fryer to 350. That is important when we're cooking these. If we want a crispy fried chicken, which we do, we want that air fryer hot when we start cooking this chicken. Trust me, it'll still be really moist and tender. If you watch my exact instructions, you start it at 350, and then you halfway through, you're going to turn it over. We're going to stick it back in for the last 7 minutes, but we're going to increase the temperature to 370 Fahrenheit. Okay, while we're waiting for the last 7 minutes, let's make some honey mustard sauce, but let's do a low carb. What I start with is the regular Dijon mustard, any with a no sugar. And then I take a tiny bit of the Lakanto, which is pancake syrup, which is just a syrupy sweetener. And I just literally add to taste, but I only like it, I don't like it really sweet, so I only add a couple drops. And then I add my seasoning in. So I'm going to add, again, onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of pepper. And then it's going to be completely, just mix it up, and it's ready to go for our sauce. Little sea salt if you want. I like it, but you can opt out if you don't want any more salt. That's no big deal. It's still going to taste great. The second sauce I'm going to use for dipping for these chicken strips is going to be just a squeezable ranch. I know it's a higher carb, but I'm actually having the mustard. Bruce is having the ranch. So now the chicken is done. Doesn't it look great? It's perfectly cooked. It is moist and juicy and tender, and it's got that crunchy crust that you like that's going to satisfy looking for something in a low-carb option for chicken. It just came out literally perfect. Now I'm going to take my first taste test, and it's like, I haven't made it. Like I said, I had that old video. There we go. Yum. You're looking for something quick and delicious, you're at the right channel. Thanks for popping back, guys. I'll see you on my next video. Take care. So what we're having pairing it with the side is a seed cracker that I made years ago that I just redid. It was so good, tasted great. I haven't done another video on it, but here's one, an old one that you can see. They are so delicious. And the last thing I made a couple days ago, actually, was a spinach dip, and that is what we dip these seed crackers in. So that's going to be our full meal. So you liked them. They were a hit. And the spinach dip is our second night. You know, I made that years ago with keto. Like one of the first things I ever did, I made that spinach dip. And it's funny because I made it for the kids. I remember when Shane was at home and he loved it. And he's like, why don't you make that spinach dip more? And it's like, I just forget. Thing I want to tell you, you know those little crunchies, the ones that I didn't crush up as well? These are, hear that crunch? So delicious. You will thank me if you throw those in top of yours, and you will think that you're eating, your chicken tenders will be like crunchy chicken, crunchy Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you want to spice it up, add chili pepper. Delicious. Delicious. Take care, guys. See you again.